It's actually going to be absolutely fascinating here, Ed. Interesting to see Ruby talking and whether or not the jockeys can combine to make it tricky for Thistlecrack. The key point is you mustn't burst your own bubble in trying to unsettle the favourite and end up out the back, even if you manage to get Thistlecrack beat. And of course, with many clouds, there's still plenty of big targets for him with the National in mind in the future as well. Smad Place is possibly far less complicated. Vézelay is just tacking on to the others, so we're still a moment or two away from the off. And you can see the support for Carmore Lock, who one of the younger, less exposed horses, may be open to a little bit more improvement than we've seen so far from the likes of Smad Place, Silvianaco Conti and Many Clouds, where we sort of know what we're going to get, high quality though it is. So the flag is raised. Starting point is just the other side of what will be the final fence when they take it for the third time. Smad Place coming up now. They're a little faster than the starter would like there. He's just asking them to hang back. Looks a little bit better, and he's happy now, and they're sent on their way for this Bet Bright trial. Cotswold Chase, 21 fences to take, and Smad Place, the grey, bounces off out in front. And he's over the first. Thistlecrack got into the bottom of it slightly, it was perfectly okay, and Smad Place moves away with Silvianaco Conti and Many Clouds. Three great names of National Hunt Racing, and yet the horse in fourth, Thistlecrack in the orange colours, such a short price to lower all of their colours this afternoon. That's the regard in which he's held. Perfect candidate in fifth. In sixth place is Carmore Lock and Vézelay. At what is no more than a steady gallop here, they move to the side of the racecourse where we go plain fence, water jump, and then the first, crucially, of the four open ditches that Thistlecrack will be facing during the course, along with all the others, of course, during the course of this race. Smad Place leading at a steady gallop. The grey, Silvianaco Conti in second place. Many Clouds over in third. In fourth place is Thistlecrack, Carmore Lock in the bandages, blue colours, and then Perfect Candidate and the low head carriage of Vézelay kissing his knees as they head on towards the water jump, which again they all pop over safely. So next is the first of the open ditches where Mick was stood a little bit earlier on in the afternoon. Smad Place leads towards it with Silvianaco Conti, Many Clouds. Thistlecrack sees a good stride, effortless over it. Back of the field, Perfect Candidate, finding this considerably deeper to the company that he's used to keeping at the rear of the field. Smad Place towards another plain one. Again, they're all over that. Economical leap by Thistlecrack, that jump by Carmore Lock on the inside. So now we're heading towards the second of the open ditches. Smad Place by just over a length. Many Clouds and the noseband on the inside of Silvianaco Conti. Thistlecrack and Carmore Lock in fourth and fifth places as they step over that without any mishaps at all. Vézelay and Perfect Candidate. So climbing uphill. Smad Place leads them towards the top of the hill. Two of the ditches down, Mick, still two to go, but he coped with those perfectly well, as indeed the whole field.
I haven't seen him dance in front of a board yet, Richard. I really want to see him shorten his stride and learn to pop. And once he does that, he'll take the scare factor out of watching him. Ruby, what do you make of him so far?
Yeah, if you're being critical, he should have popped the last ditch, but he got there with plenty of power. This can be a traffic fence. I know it's been moved now and repositioned. Be interesting to see how he gets on. Might have been alright, I couldn't see it, but look, he's travelling with some ease and he's grand and settled.
So they run downhill, and Smad Place out in front. And so far, Thistlecrack, point being made, he's met the fence in a perfect stride, really hasn't had to put himself right so far. So they're coming down the hill. Three fences, now the complete circuit. Smad Place out in front. Smad Place over. Big leap by Many Clouds. No, pecked by Thistlecrack. Nothing more than just kissing the turf, but nonetheless, just maybe the first to unsettle the equilibrium of the market leader. Carmore Lock in fifth, Vézelay and Perfect Candidate. So now they turn. This shallower turn making the straight on the new course considerably longer. More galloping in nature, but more time to spy this next fence, which on the other circuit comes up quite quickly off the bend. Smad Place. No doubt his rider, Wayne Hutchinson, been very happy because he's had a largely uncontested lead here. And he's popping away out in front from Many Clouds. Third place for Silvianaco Conti, Carmore Lock, Thistlecrack in fifth place, and then Vézelay. Perfect Candidate is finding this a little bit hot. So Smad Place out in front. Many Clouds. Thistlecrack just being moved a little bit closer. Silvianaco Conti, Carmore Lock and Vézelay as they set out on their final circuit. 10 fences to take. Smad Place, winner of this race 12 months ago, leads. Many Clouds racing on the inside of Thistlecrack, heading out on their final circuit. Still all to play for me.
It certainly is, and it's interesting to see that Tom Skew's moved them up a little bit, not allowing Smad Place the luxury of dictating things, and you can see the pace is feasibly quick. But you said, Ruby, you were pleased with the little mistake that Thistlecrack made.
Yeah, just to, I think that'll teach him a lot, wake him up. He was good and sharp at the second last and again at the last, but he's learning more today than he's learned in any of his previous runs. He's in amongst horses here, and this is going to be some education for him.
Absolutely, because by this time he had Q-Card on the back foot in the King George, and here he's still got 3 really top-class horses travelling well in front of him. Smad Place, Silvianaco Conti and Many Clouds. This is the water jump. Thistlecrack in 4th, then in 5th place Carmore Lock. Vézelay is in 6th and still continuing perfect candidates. So we're heading to the penultimate ditch, 8 from the finish. Smad Place set alight on the run to it. Thistlecrack economic over it, out jumped Silvianaco Conti, who's just beginning to feel the pinch. Smad Place from last year's 2nd, Many Clouds, then Thistlecrack in 3rd place. The race beginning to develop as they step over that. Carmore Lock, the well-backed horse in the race, is still there in 4th. Vézelay closing on Silvianaco Conti as they turn and head now towards the final open ditch, 6 from the finish. Smad Place from Many Clouds, Thistlecrack and Carmore Lock close enough on the inside there. Vézelay in 5th and Silvianaco Conti, the first of the big guns to crack now as they head uphill. 5 to take. Smad Place out in front. Many Clouds in 2nd. Thistlecrack in 3rd as the race just begins to bubble up. Thistlecrack took that outside Carmore Lock. Then Vézelay, Silvianaco Conti and Perfect Candidate are both beginning to lose touch. So downhill in this Bet Right Trail across Cotswold Chase, and as they run downhill, Many Clouds now puts it to Smad Place. Thistlecrack pulled out now. He's known he's been in more of a battle. 4 out, he wasn't great there. And the first 2 got a little bit of a break on him for the first time in his chasing career. The equilibrium of Thistlecrack was just ruffled by the old experienced Many Clouds and Smad Place. Down towards the 3rd last, Thistlecrack given time to refine that stride, closing down again on the front 2, then Carmore Lock. Thistlecrack landed steeply over 3 out. Many Clouds has the lead from Smad Place. Thistlecrack, Tom Scudamore just having to try and get the front 2 to come back to him. He's still sitting quietly, and he now has a little bit of a run to gather some momentum, and he throws down his challenge, but it is still Many Clouds. Thistlecrack in the orange colours away to the right-hand side, then Smad Place. Now the questions will be answered. Many Clouds with Thistlecrack moving alongside. Smad Place in 3rd. This is the 2nd last. Many Clouds and Thistlecrack, who jumped it well, and now Tom Scudamore looks happier, but Many Clouds is a doughty rival. It is Thistlecrack heading towards the last. In front from Many Clouds as a length in it. Thistlecrack, Many Clouds won't go away, and he lands back alongside, and now Thistlecrack is going to have to learn to win ugly on the far side. He thrusts his head back with Many Clouds. Thistlecrack narrowly from Many Clouds, who's shifting right-handed. Thistlecrack, but Many Clouds is getting back to him, and Many Clouds and Thistlecrack hit the line, but I think Many Clouds may have nutted Thistlecrack out of it in an epic battle. A trial it was billed as, and the verdict is in the balance. Many Clouds rallying to Thistlecrack. The judge's call will be needed, but Many Clouds on that evidence has ended Thistlecrack's unbeaten chasing record. A real slugfest. It was billed before as the young pretender against an experienced horse in Many Clouds, who's been over 50 miles over fences, over 300 obstacles, and has only ever fallen once. And here, Many Clouds is going to get the verdict here from Thistlecrack in what really was a terrific horse race.
It was an absolute thriller. Wow. 2 of the most popular horses in training, and it's the Grand National hero who's won it today. And Ruby Walsh, your immediate reaction?
Surprised, but look, Tom Scudamore has done nothing wrong, don't get me wrong for 1 minute, but I think Leighton Aspel has given the winner an absolutely brilliant ride, pace-wise, tactics-wise, and he's just drawn the sting out of Thistlecrack and outstayed him, for my money.
Is stamina the difference here, mate?
Yeah, I think it is, but I think, again, Oliver Sherwood and Leighton Aspel, this is their day.
Absolutely brilliant for them. What a horse he is. Many Clouds, the winner again, a dual winner of the Cotswold Chase. We're just hearing that Many Clouds is down at the finish of the race. We will get an update on that in just a moment. What a hero and a warrior he is, man.
Oh, fantastic as well. You know, Trevor Hemmings, his owner, he's a great supporter of National Hunt Racing. He'll get great pleasure out of this. And, you know, well done to everybody concerned. But Leighton Aspel, he knew when to attack.
He's being tended to
at the right time.
So what will be happening now, Mick? He's got a tendency to do this at the end of races. Medics will be looking after him.
These horses did it in the past. When he won the Grand National, he didn't actually come into the winner's enclosure. He went to the area where they cooled him down. They'll be trying to get water on him straight away, try and get his heat levels down, get the horse to breathe properly, and then hopefully he'll be fine.
And Ruby, the care they get in these situations is
incredible.
second to none.
They'll re-oxygenate him, if that's the correct word. That's what it is. It's an oxygen thing, and they'll put oxygen straight into him, and they'll get him going again. It just shows you how honest, how tough, how gutsy a horse he is, and I wouldn't be at all worried about him. He'll be back up and flying in a few minutes.
We'll keep you updated on many clouds. Let's talk Thistlecrack then. How big a worry is that now with an extra, furlong to go in the Gold Cup?
Do you know what? We were watching a race, Ruby and I. When we saw him at the last ditch, I thought, that's it. Because I wanted to see him dance, and he danced in front of that board. And you thought, right, now his education is complete. He can go on from here. But the worry is, at the second last and at the last, you thought, right, come on, dig. Go on, get up there, get up the hill. And he just didn't have it in the finish, and that would be a little bit of a concern, Ruby.
Ultimately, it was experienced too at the last fence. If you watch, Thistlecrack shortens up and jumps a bit to his left, lands kind of flat-footed, whereas late Naspel on Many Clouds, with all the experience, was able to ride gung-ho at it, and Many Clouds answered the call. You know, the jump of the last was definitely a swing of a length in Many Clouds' favour, and he's ultimately grounded out to the line. Stamina, but when you look at it in hindsight, the last furlong in the King George, were the signs there? If you're looking back with the benefit of hindsight, who knows?
So Thistlecrack on his way back with Tom Scudamore. You might just see the screens in the background. They just go up purely as a precaution for privacy, so that Many Clouds can be looked after. And when we come back on ITV Racing, we'll talk more about the race and hopefully have good news for you about Many Clouds.